The Gundam Card Game's 2v2 format just got a major update, and honestly, I think Bandai absolutely nailed it here. Not only did they fix one of the biggest issues players had in 2v2, they actually made the format better. Today I want to break down exactly what changed, why it matters, and why this is the perfect time to get 2v2 format started in your area. Also, if you want the full how to play 2v2 breakdown, check out the description for the link to Bandai's official rules. And of course, while you're down there, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Help out the channel here get to the next goal. Alright, so what got updated and why it fixes so much? There have been many complaints about the 2v2 formats, but the biggest one of them all is essentially double aggro. Now, in my local community, this never really became a real issue, but that's mainly because players didn't really fully optimize their list for true 2v2 synergy. But in theory, yeah, a double aggro setup could definitely overwhelm slower teams. The new rule actually solves that problem without restricting creativity. So originally, each player could have up to 6 units on their board, meaning a team could field a total of 12 units at once. That's a lot of bodies on the field. So this update brings that total team maximum down to 6 units. Now, this doesn't mean that each player is suddenly limited to 3 units each. It simply means both players share that 6 unit space. Most decks can already field around 6 units on their own, so sharing that space naturally encourages teams to think about their roles and synergies. For example, maybe one player focuses on being the main aggressor, maybe the partner runs fewer units and leans into control and support, or maybe both players mix it up in their own creative way. So let's look at some examples here. So in this deck, this player is running the powerful Zaf cards with Buster Gundam as their only attack power buffer. I know looking at this, some of you Zaf players are just sweating already, but that's the fun part about 2v2. So in this list, the partner is also running Zaf, but their build looks completely different. Way more command cards and units. Normally that's unheard of in Gundam decks. Why? Because their job is simple: support the main player's units. For instance, dropping Virulent in Forbidden Gundam when you actually need blockers, setting up the opposing boards for safe attacks using cards like Intercept Orders in Siege Ploy, and also keeping your partner's units healthy using cards like Dramatic Turnabout, and even securing the supply line, which is actually amazing in 2v2. Both of the decks share the Gamal base to ensure consistency, since the overall strategy revolves around controlling the battlefield while chipping away at shields. And since both players play Zaf, this assists both players. Now, this is the kind of teamwork that makes 2v2 just amazing, and this new rule change honestly makes everything smoother. Alright, let's talk about these test rules, and thank goodness they didn't go live. Now, some players saw the testing rules floating around and thought that these were actually official. No, they weren't, and I am so relieved because those rules would have absolutely destroyed this format. So let's talk about the two biggest offenders. First off, no deck color overlap? Are you serious? This alone would have broken the entire identity of the game. Think about it, why would a card need to say friendly Zaf unit or something like when a friendly clan unit links if teammates couldn't even share colors? It just made zero sense, and it also would have made random 2v2 events like impossible, unless everyone conveniently brought 4 different color combinations and made the decks on the fly or something. This change would have only worked in strict competitive play, not in the community or casual settings. And honestly, from what I heard, even in the Bandai Card Fest, team pairings were always just random anyway, so how did that even work out? Now let's talk about the changes to the shield order and jumping to 10 shields. Now, this honestly wasn't necessary in my opinion. Games are already going to the full 40 minutes with just 8 shields alone, and honestly, as the card pool grows and more defensive tools become available, 10 shields would just drag the game out even longer. Like, think about it, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a time where we're actually able to regenerate shields. That's going to make the game drag on. But let's think about it for now. Imagine all 4 players running a blocker deck. Yeah, that's like a 4-person stalemate there. So increasing life makes more sense for like a free-for-all event, not 2v2 honestly, but I'll explain that in a moment. And lastly, attaching your pilots to friendly units. Now, this one I actually would say had potential, because assisting your teammates is just part of the fun. But with how links work, it would have got abused so fast. So maybe in the future it could return, but with limits. Such as, for example, you can pair but you can't link with friendly units. But right now, that's just too messy to track, and maybe they'll explore it in the future. Yeah, but overall, these test rules just felt like they were reacting to complaints rather than actually strengthening the format. But that's how tests work, so they gotta test it out. Alright, so I got some suggestions. This is just for fun here. So these ideas I just brainstormed, nothing official and not fully tested yet. Let's say we increase the HP on the EX base. For example, we give the 2v2 a very unique base. This is only going to be used in 2v2. It'll have that stat line or rule line there. And its stat line, instead of a 0.3, it's a 0.6. So generally it's going to take 2 Zakutus to break it instead of just the 1. And for free-for-all, its stat line is a actual 2-4. Now since you're defending against 3 opponents, maybe having your base be able to be like that kind of defending unit before everything gets really messy in a free-for-all. I haven't played a lot of free-for-all, but that was just an idea I had. But these avoid messing with the shield count, which also lowers deck consistency and gives each format its own identity. And overall, these EX bases can be more easily introduced into the game rather than updating or adding additional rules for players to try to remember. Alright, again guys, if you're new to 2v2 and never tried it before, I have the base rules linked below, and I also plan on putting out new videos diving deeper into strategies, deck building, and how to get the most out of this format because I really want to help grow the 2v2 scene. If you're interested in 2v2 at your local card shop, let them know. Stores in my area used to run 2v2 events regularly, but things slowed down when I took a break. Even now, organizers keep asking me when they want to bring it back, so I'm sure your local shop would be listening too. And my suggestion to you store owners out there, if possible, run your 2v2 event right before or after your main and weekly tournament. That's what the stores do in my area, because trying to get everyone to commit to a separate day is tough, but adding it to an existing tournament day keeps attendance strong, especially when it's trying to get started. But of course, always check with your local community to find out what works best for them. But alright guys, in the comments down below, what do you think about these new rules introduced to the 2v2 format? And just how you feel about the 2v2 format in general. Have you tried it before? Are you interested? What would you play in the format? Did the deck that I give you some extra insight, make you intrigued about it? Because it's a lot more than just playing 2 meta decks sitting side by side. Actually building strategies around the rulings and the actual traits is awesome. And don't worry, if you want to see more 2v2 lists, be sure to be subscribed to this channel. You may not find that other content everywhere else. There are plenty of other channels talking about meta decks. I'm sure you can get that information from them, but over here, you're going to get the unique content like 2v2 metas and all that other stuff here. Alright guys, we're going to get out of here. You go take care of yourselves. I know life can be hard out there, guys, but keep your head up, keep moving forward, and most importantly, let nothing stop you. Peace out, guys.